stuck in Chicago traffic.
Yeah, it sucks, man. This isn't even like the worst of it. This is a fucking side street. This is Chicago. This is the northwest, or this is the north side of Chicago, the most northern part called Rogers Park, and it's a border of good and shitty. So the neighborhood I live in is very it's heavily Jewish and ultra Orthodox Jew. So you might see people dressed in shit that they kind of like pilgrims or whatever. That's mostly the people that I live in. So it's a better part of Rogers Park. A couple blocks away is where basically they'll be shooting and robbing and stealing from people and shit over there. So we don't visit that area too much. Should I put Warrior? Should I put that on there?
What? Forsaken Warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an asshole. Like they're gonna be like, this kid's fucking around. There we go. Alright, definitely. This fucking fried vegetables are good as fuck. I gotta eat all this shit before we lift too. Hopefully it doesn't come back out.
Why sushi?
Fuck, I love sushi. There's not a specific reason. All I know is that if I puke while I'm working out, it's not gonna taste as good as it when I go it down. So, but this place is good though. It's a local, all you can eat, $20. Fucking eat as much as you can. Get fat. I'm trying to go to the 308 class right now. So, eat what I want. We just ate a donut before we got here. Pre sushi meal. Lauren likes eating this shit. Fucking ginger.
Ginger, yeah, it's good.
Oh man.
You don't like it?
Tastes like floor cleaner. Tastes like my mom used to scrub floors with pine sol. You know, something when it's a very strong scent, you can almost taste it. That's what that shit tastes like, man.
What order number is this?
2. Thought I was kidding, huh? You gotta get your vegetables in. No better way than just to deep fry them, you know what I mean? To make you eat them.
You are disgusting, dude.
Let's try to dip around. All this. Steve Johnson, Forsaken Warrior. Originally, I was supposed to be named the Forsaken Warrior. Like, it was supposed to be a company that I originally started where we were making powerlifting gear and apparel, and that it came to be after a while, after competing in powerlifting, that became my name, kind of adopted it as my nickname, and kind of how it came up with that name was basically like how I felt through life, you know, trying to find my way in fitness, and basically my journey of like losing weight that manifested into a professional powerlifting career. I always felt like I was alone in that journey, that I didn't have anybody that I could turn to, or the people that I did, I wasn't able to, they weren't able to give me a hand, or I was made fun of for looking for that, those answers. And basically I felt that I was forsaken, and that, you know, when the world turned its back to me, I had nothing else to do but to figure it out on my own. You know, I started just doing anything and everything I could to be at the gym. Whether it just be, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing either. Basically, I was just going in there, copying everybody, kind of see what they were doing, going in there 2-3 hours a day, 7 days a week, and working out, you know, my full body every fucking time, you know, just to lose weight, just to shape up, reading different magazines, reading, you know, Muscle and Fitness, anything basically I could do to just try to look as close to like, you know, what I thought was aesthetically pleasing at the time, which were like bodybuilders like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler or shit like that, you know, Branch Warren, that was a big one. So for about a year and a half, I lived in my car, in my Crown Victoria, out of the trunk. I lived in the gym parking lot. I would go and I would shower in the gym. I would wash my laundry in the gym. The guys that I ended up becoming friends with the staff there, so they would let me use the washing machine like late at night, and I would wash all my clothes. And if it was too cold, what he would let me do was he would let me sleep in a tanning bed because they had it was a 24-hour gym. So I'd be able to sleep in the tanning beds, and you know, I had my pillow, my blanket that I traveled with, and you know, I'd hear weights clanging, banging, fucking all hours of the day, and fucking it didn't, for some reason that shit didn't bother me. I ended up getting another job, but I wasn't making enough money to have a rent or to you know, have an apartment. So I was just working security details, going to these job sites, sleeping in the parking lot, in my car. Basically, my car was like my roaming house. And, you know, I did anything and everything I could, and didn't matter to always weight lift or work out. The gym was always the priority besides living. Ended up moving in with a friend of mine from the bar. He had a condo. Ended up moving into his condo with him, and ended up fucking being able to live somewhere finally. And I worked at the bar down the street with him. And then eventually, one of my friends was applying at the sheriff's department, so I decided, you know, I'm gonna apply too. I had been interested in law enforcement, working security, so I went and applied at the sheriff's department. Went through the whole hiring process. Took about a year. I worked as a county sheriff for almost 9 years. I just recently resigned, or 9 years, almost 10 years. And, but I was able to finally dig myself out of a hole that I had created so bad, where I was homeless and had nowhere to go. Ended up kind of like what I thought was a come up, you know. Was able to buy a car, was able to pay some debts off, was able to get my own place, was able to have real fucking bills, an adult job. I got to carry a gun. It was cool as fuck, you know. And then, you know, do a job that at the time I thought was something that I always dreamed of doing. You know, and after working there for so many years, decided that it wasn't something that I was passionate about anymore. So I just wasn't happy at that time in my life, like basically working at the jail, a marriage that was really shitty. You know, I just needed to find something that excited me again, that got me going. And I had been weightlifting and working out that whole time, and I'd become interested in powerlifting through ways of reading magazines, Muscle and Fitness on Stan Efferding. Stan Efferding was like fucking, at the time I thought, man, he looked like a fucking, you know, he was fucking huge. And he was strong as fuck. He just won the title for World's Strongest Bodybuilder. So what attracted me the most to him was looking at the article, specifically one that talked about his workout as far as a deadlift, like how he worked up to a max deadlift. At the time I had been deadlifting and doing powerlifting movements, but I had no fucking clue on what the fuck I was doing. So when I watched videos on Stan Efferding on YouTube, I found out about Mark Bell, I found out about all these other training videos and other powerlifters. I started really researching powerlifting more, going on bodybuilding.com, fucking getting, you know, powerlifting workout routines, started following them, and basically the shit manifested into something that I didn't think it ever would. So I'd been training powerlifting, like a powerlifting style, not knowing what I'm doing, just going to the gym every fucking week, trying to max out on a lift, just to try to do a little bit better than I did the week before. And I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. I was just fucking trying to be a fucking psycho. I remember when I first hit a 500-pound deadlift, how crazy, like, excited I was. Immediately the goal was to hit 600 pounds. not 5'10 or 5'20. Immediately it was the next 100-pound mark. That was a milestone. Then I worked up after about a year and a half. It took me to get to 600 pounds. I hit 600 and immediately the goal was 700 pounds. You know, just the drive and the passion that I had for like the strength sport, which I never had thought that my level of fitness was ever gonna be this high. You know, I thought I was always gonna be a fat kid, you know what I mean? So my first ever total, my first ever meet in December 2015 was a 1973 total. And at the time, I had no idea what that meant, but everybody was like freaking out about it, that I almost totaled 2,000 pounds. And 2,000 pounds was like a big milestone in powerlifting for anybody. To make it more competitive and to take me to the next level, I started working with Josh Bryant. Josh Bryant did all my bench press programming. And in 6 weeks, I did a tournament called Boss of Bosses 3, which is like basically like my breakout tournament. And Josh helped take my bench press from like 445 to 501 in 6 weeks, on top of the 800-pound squat I did and the 800 and almost 30-pound deadlift I did that day. So I totaled 2133, which is still my best total to date. Oh, as far as like passion for the sport, so I always tell people, or it's mainly young kids, so I do a lot of Q&As and stuff. It's mainly like young kids, and they're always wanting, like right away, they always want to be the best at the sport. And I don't ever knock that, because who doesn't want to be the greatest at something, you know, that they first start out. It just doesn't happen that way right away. Keep working. Don't ever be satisfied with your progress ever. And it's a long, long journey. A lot of times they try to say, well, you're doing this in 2 years. Like, yeah, I've only been competing in 2 years, but I've been training for 14 plus years in just anything. I have this saying that I say, you know, and I hashtag it on my stuff. It says average to savage. Every day you should wake up and don't be satisfied with being an average person. Just be a little bit better than the day before. Be a savage every single day. So just be slightly above average savage. That's what I came up with. Even if I'm not the best, I'm gonna keep training and training. It's the drive, it's the passion that makes you the best, not necessarily the numbers and the totals. To the people out there that are basically like, that are in love with something, not necessarily powerlifting, but go out there every single day and fucking try to kill it. Like, kill it in anything that you're fucking good at. Take your talents and run with them. Don't ever be satisfied with fucking what the world is telling you that you should be. You know what I mean? Go out there and fucking kill everything every day. Just like I was saying before, if your fucking talent is coloring books, then you better fucking put all your hard work, hard time, if that's what you want to be the best at, and go out there and color the shit out of them fucking books. You know what I mean? Fucking just fucking never quit. And I always say it, never, never, never quit. Never give up. Wake up every day dreaming, eating, sleeping what you're passionate about, and that's it.
Get that shit up! Come on, motherfucker! How bad you want? Let's fucking go!
Ooh, that's an Instagram video, baby.